Alrighty guys, I want to welcome you back to another fantastic car review video. Today's video, I'm actually going to do a top 5 facts about the first gen Sequoia. And it just started snowing like an hour ago, and it's gotten significantly worse since then. So I'm going to try to do my best to do this video without getting absolutely soaked with the snow. And yeah, let's start off with fact number 1, and that is the key. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know about this, but you can start the car without holding it all the way right. So usually when you put a key in and crank it, you would hold it all the way right like this. Now, you can do that like I just did, but in the case of the first gen Sequoia, and I'm not sure if this also works for the first gen Tundra, but I do know it works for all first gen Sequoias. What you can do is, I'm trying to see if you guys can see this. So you basically put it in, and you just turn it, and it starts right up. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that's like a fun fact about the first gen Sequoia. Now, you can also do that on the second gen Sequoia. Obviously not the third gens, because there's no longer a physical key. It's all push button start. But that is one fact. Fact number 2 is that if you have a sunroof, well, if you have a Sequoia, and this even goes for the first gen Tundra, the sunroofs are absolutely massive in these vehicles. I don't know why, but you can literally put 3 of these sunroofs in this vehicle, and it would probably fill up the entire roof of the Sequoia. Now, most vehicles' sunroofs are about, I want to say, about that big or so. Probably about that big, but the Sequoia is just massive. Now, the second gen Sequoia downsized in the sunroof, and as well as this, well, pretty much every Toyota vehicle has a small sunroof except the Sequoia and the Tundra of the first gens. Now, third gen 4Runners, I don't know if they're just as big. They might be a little smaller, but that's fact number 2. Now, another thing I want to show you guys. Now, this is actually going to suck because it's snowing, but I want to show you anyways. Now, as you probably know, you can put the key in your driver's side keyhole, and if you turn it all the way left, the front windows and the sunroof open. So I'm going to hold it left. And I'm just kidding, it's actually right. So if you hold it right, they come down, and the sunroof opens. And as long as you hold it all the way, they all open together. But it's snowing, so I'm not going to do that. So as I hold left, they all close. And that's how that works. Let me know in the comments section if you guys knew that. But it is snowing. And here's a look at my Sequoia. We're supposed to get like 7 inches tonight here in Ohio. So, well, southern Ohio. I don't know if you guys live in like northern Ohio, because you guys are probably snowed in. But, yeah. I will say, this is probably going to be one of my last videos for my first gen Sequoia, because I plan on getting rid of this thing after wintertime this year. I just don't really want it anymore. There are too many issues with this vehicle for me. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily too many issues. It's just that there's one issue that is leading to a serious issue. And if you know a thing or two about old Toyota trucks, you know that there are frame issues, and rust gets to these vehicles and it kills them, which is very unfortunate, because if it weren't for this one thing, I would literally keep this forever. But unfortunately, I'm going to show you guys this. And if you follow the First Gen Sequoia and or First Gen Tundra group on Facebook, you've probably seen me post this. But my rear control, I forget what this is actually called. I think it's called the trailing arm. The rear trailing arm bracket is broken. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but there is a giant crack here. It actually broke off completely, and I ratchet strapped the arm to the frame. So the actual bracket is broken, but I've actually been driving like that for about a year. Actually, I've been driving like that for over a year now. I don't take it on the highway, but because I am not risking anything happening on the highway. I would rather drive this on a residential road and have it completely break off than driving on the highway and having it break, because that's a recipe for disaster. Now, obviously, I shouldn't even be driving this thing in general like that, but hey, what's the worst that can happen, you know? The only thing that could be worse, I think, would be the other side breaking, and then my rear end will probably completely just fall out. But the other side is actually getting bad too, and that's why I want to get rid of this thing ASAP. Now, like I said, I hope this can last after winter time, because I want to sell this thing for about $1,000. And as I'm looking at my frame, I am seeing another crack back here. I did not notice that before, but yeah, that's also cool. So this sucks, you know. I really wanted to keep this thing forever, but I can't. I mean, I guess I could, but it probably wouldn't be the safest thing. I actually did plan on getting a frame swap on this, but I just don't think it's worth it. Because the transmission, I think, is having an issue. I'm not sure exactly, but first gear acts wonky sometimes. So, I mean, hey, this girl has lived her life, and, you know, it is what it is, man. I actually just remembered I forgot to show you. I actually have a trifold mattress. If you fold these seats all the way forward, you actually get access to 6 feet of length. So from the back of this all the way to the end of the tailgate, this is exactly 6 feet long. And so basically, if you get a 6-foot trifold mattress, it will fit perfectly back here. And I think it's like 4 inches, I think it's like 5 or 6 inches thick. So it's a nice thickness to the mattress, and it's actually pretty comfortable. I've actually slept back here several times, and I haven't had an issue with it. But that's just a little fun fact about, you know, the back of this. Now, usually these come with third rows, but I took mine out because I value space more than seats, because I don't really carry people like that. It's usually just me in here. But yeah, that's fact number 3. Now, for fact number 4, which I've already showed this in my other video. I'm sure you guys know this too, but if you take your key and put it in the keyhole in the back and turn left, the back window comes down, and my window rails is rusty, so you're gonna hear some squeaking. But yeah. Now, if you don't have the key fob, by the way, you can actually get this key fob off Amazon. I got 2 of these off Amazon. The third button actually controls the back glass. So if you just hold this button, this comes down. And it doesn't go back up. You would have to manually roll it back up. But that's a nice feature if you're just trying to quickly do something, and you can hear how horrible it sounds. But yeah, it's a nice feature to have. Was that fact number 4? I think it was. And fact number 5 is my brakes are horrible. That's fact number 5. You can probably see my rotors are absolutely scorched. I need new brakes. I'm just kidding about that though. But seriously though, fact number 5, I want to talk about the 4-wheel drive in these vehicles. Now, there are actually, I gotta do the Topher feet kicks. Shout out to the Topher. I love watching that guy. Even Topher drives, I forget his name, is it Brandon or something? But basically, yeah, I dropped my keys. Let's hear that V8. Yummy, I love it. So, sorry about the heat. I have it cranked up all the way because it's freezing outside. 4-wheel drive. So I've explained this in my other video, my first video for the Sequoia. So basically, the 4-wheel drive, I won't lie, I was actually confused about this myself initially before I bought the vehicle. Even when I did own this vehicle for a couple of months, it took me a while to fully understand how the 4-wheel drive works. One thing I will say, however, is that the first and or maybe the second year of the first-gen Sequoia, the 01 and 02 Sequoias, I do not know if this counts for those, but for 03, 4, 5, 6, and 7 Sequoias, this all works exactly the same. So, 4-wheel drive, we have a button that we press, okay? But basically what happens is, I'm gonna go into reverse right quick. So I'm gonna get this light to stop flashing. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt and it doesn't want to actually stop. When none of these lights are on, you are in 2-wheel drive. So right now I am rolling around in 2-wheel drive. 2-wheel drive is rear wheel drive for the Sequoia. So your back 2 tires or back 2 wheels are spinning. Your front 2 wheels are not spinning at all, unless you're just driving in general. There's no power sent to the front wheels, only the back 2. That's 2-wheel drive, okay? So, when you press the 4-wheel drive button, like so, this light will flash, and we are now officially in 4-wheel drive. You can tell by the 4 wheels being lit. What that means is, there is power being sent to your rear wheels and your front wheels. Now, normally when you think of 4-wheel drive, you think, man, I shouldn't drive on the road because when I'm turning, my front wheels will start to bind up because they're turning at different speeds. And you are right about that. Normally in 4-wheel drive vehicles, you don't want to drive on pavement, only on grass, gravel, dirt, you name it. Anything other than pavement, you don't want to drive in 4-wheel drive. However, in the case of the Sequoia, 4-wheel drive is actually all-wheel drive. So what that means is you can drive on pavement. You can drive anywhere in 4-wheel drive in the Sequoia. As long as you only see the 4 wheels lit, you are okay. Now, if you're driving in a 05, 6, or 7 Sequoia, there won't be a diagram. Instead, there will be a light on the bottom right here that'll say 4 high. That also is the same thing as the 4 wheels being lit. Now, we're in all-wheel drive, so we can drive in the snow like this. We can drive on pavement. We can drive on dirt, gravel, whatever. Because this is technically all-wheel drive. And as you're turning the wheels, your front wheels are going to spin at different speeds, and they will only kick in when it needs to. So if it's starting to slip, your front wheels will start to they'll start to pull you. So we're in all-wheel drive. Now, this button right here is called the center differential locker. If we press this button, the middle lights will start to light up. it'll blink initially. Now, most of these older vehicles, you know, it'll take some helping. So I'm gonna go into reverse, and I'm gonna drive a little bit. I'm gonna go into drive. When the middle light is lit, that means your center differential is locked. Now, what that means is that you are now officially in part-time four-wheel drive. Now, part-time four-wheel drive means that your front wheels and your rear wheels, sorry, that's a hard word to say, your front and rear wheels are officially split in power. So your front wheels get 50% power, your rear wheels get 50% power. What that now means is that you cannot drive this on pavement, because then when you're taking turns, your front wheels will be spinning at the same speed, and then it will start to bind up the outer wheel depending on where you're turning, because they're going at the same speed. So, long story short, when your center differential is locked, you do not want to drive this on pavement. You can drive it on dirt, snow, whatever, just not on pavement. So now, guys, we're going to talk about the transfer case knob, or shifter, whatever you want to call it. So basically how this works is it'll say L4, N, and then H. H means high. Right now we are in high. What high means is that it's high range, meaning when you're driving a four-wheel drive, it's just like normal transmission speeds. And then you can actually shift this into neutral. You want to go into neutral like so. You're going to push this forward, and then your transmission and your transfer case are both disengaged. Now, I'll be honest, I don't really know why you'd want to do this. Maybe if you're towing it or something like that, but that's how that works. Now, from this point forward, while you are still in neutral, if you want to go into 4 low, you push this all the way forward like that, and then you can go into drive, or you can go into low range like this, or even second gear like that. It's up to you. Now, the reason why you'd want to do low range or second gear is if you're going up a hill and maybe you're trying to climb a big muddy hill or something, and you need all that extra torque from the 4 low, and that's what that's used for. So from that point forward, you would only want to use 4 low if you are truly stuck in something. I've actually needed to use 4 low only once in this vehicle. Once it was snowing so bad about 2 years ago, and I was snowed in. The plow plowed snow so much to the point where I couldn't even drive over it unless I was in 4 low, and I just floored it and it got me right out. So that's how 4 low works. To get out of it, you go back into neutral, and then you pull this back all the way and make sure it's nice and tight, and then you are out of 4 low. Now from that point, you can disengage the center differential locker like so, and it came right out. And from that point, if you want to go back into 2-wheel drive, you just hit that button. So guys, that's basically how the 4-wheel drive works in the first gen Sequoia. And that's fact number 5. And yeah, I don't know if this is going to be my last Sequoia video. I'm not sure if it will. If you guys want to see some more of this vehicle, let me know in the comments section. These tires I have are absolutely garbage. And this snow is fresh, so it's very, very powdery. And I will be spinning out, probably. And let's see how this goes, shall we? I'm just gonna floor it here. I'm spinning already. I actually spun out trying to get in this parking lot. As I was braking and turning, my rear end was sliding. So, you know, that's fun. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments section if you want to see some more of the Sequoia. Let me know if you own one of these babies. Please subscribe. and I hope you guys have a happy new year.